Hello YouTube, I was just bumbling around Mumsnet aimlessly when I came across this rather interesting question. We can see in our neighbour's bathroom. What would you do? What would you do? Now we all know that we behave differently when we know that we can be seen or that we're being watched than if we think that we are alone in the privacy of our own bathroom. So here's the dilemma. The original post is by Rumbubba, and she starts, "We live on a street of terraced houses. Opposite us is a house split into flats. Upstairs flat has a bathroom at the front with a terribly frosted glass, no blinds and what looks like a curtain to one side. I think their shower is right at the window because you can often clearly see bodies. My kid's bedroom is the one that faces their flat. They happily shout out or giggle when there's a naked bum at the window, and I remind them that it's a shower and the privacy glass isn't great, so just ignore, and it's not nice to stare, etc. Not a big deal. However, for the second time, I have had to distract a kid from the naked person opposite a lot more hastily because the naked person is enjoying their own company rather a lot. I've discussed this with my husband and neighbours, and here's what we've come up with. 1. Post a note through their door to ask if they could pull the curtain when they use the shower, as the frosted glass is not effective. That was my idea. 2. Post a note but with a haiku, neighbour 1's idea. My husband's word, personal pleasure, bathroom curtain left open, neighbour eyeball scorched. 3. Put a sign up in our window. If you can read this, we can see you. My husband's idea. 4. Next time, take a photo and post it, as in blackmail, neighbour 2. 5. Take a photo and project it onto the outside of their house, also neighbour 2. Oh my God, that's a terrible idea. 6. Do nothing, say nothing, don't make eye contact, don't let my kids look out the window. So, am I being unreasonable to go with 1? Should we go for something else? Any ideas not on the list that we should consider? And here come the replies. Jesus, I missed the bit where you were all gossiping about them with the neighbours. Aren't you all just hilarious? Option 1 isn't the funniest, but would probably be most effective. Definitely the haiku. Also, take a photo from your window and post that through their door. We don't have any frosting or curtains on one of our bathrooms. Look away if you don't want to see. Only one flat can see in, maybe 2, but also doesn't have any frosting. We know, but don't care. It's a big room with naked people for less than 10 minutes a day. And the OP adds, I should mention that neighbours 1 and 2 are a couple and our friends. And here come the funny comments. Why be so subtle about it? The glass in your bathroom window is not as frosted as it should be. Our children can see you wanking in the shower. If this happens again, we will call the police and you will end up on the sex offenders register. Take a photo and post it in this thread. Guarantee the Daily Fail will pick up the story. Hopefully the neighbour will see it there. Job done. I would like a drink with neighbour 2, but did also partially enjoy the haiku. Haiku, defo. For the long term, maybe plant some fast-growing bamboo at the back of your garden. OP replies, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. This flat is across the street, not over the back. And here come the silly suggestions. Light from smallest room, lays bare to the neighbourhood, onanistic you. Oh yeah, that's much better. I'm not sure if they even have the light on. The sun is shining on them from outside. We very embarrassingly had an anonymous note through the door to say that our frosted window wasn't as frosted as we thought. I was mortified. How about, could you please put a blind up in your bathroom window? Our children are getting an education in things they really don't need to know at their age. Thanks. Is it close enough to pick up your Wi-Fi signal? If so, change your Wi-Fi to we can see you wanking in the shower. Our neighbour over the back sent their niece to tell us they could see us using the loo. We got a blind from the middle to the bottom of the window. Oh my word, look at this for a suggestion. Option 7, mariachi band. And OP replies, oh my god, love this, although I think I would die of embarrassment before the recipient does. My husband is ready and set to do this changing of the Wi-Fi password, but he doesn't know how to change the SSID, and I'm not telling him. And here comes the silliness. I think a limerick would be more effective than a haiku. There once was a neighbour who thought she could shower in complete privacy. The frosting was shot and the whole street got a view of her washing her, but I can't say that. Of course, children will spend their time looking for and laughing at a naked bum. Just post through and say, hey, we can clearly see you in your shower. Pray that you never meet the owner of the bum in the supermarket with the kids, though. When they're stripping off, play the theme from the Full Monty Full Blast, and when they look out the window, give them a thumbs up. Oh no, this happened to me. I was so glad I was told, and only after a day or two of moving in. The sooner the better. P.S. would definitely have broken the news more easily by haiku. I would have reported it to the police when I knew they were wanking in full sight of my kid's bedroom window. An elderly woman phoned the police and said that she saw her neighbour naked walking around in his bathroom with the blinds open. The police turn up and say to her, sorry madam, but you cannot even see his bedroom. There is a fence and a bush blocking away. And she replies, you can if you stand on top of the wardrobe. Oh my word, that's a terrible dad joke. People are getting creative now. I know a haiku shouldn't rhyme, but self-satisfaction plus substandard diffraction, bad good reaction. Oh no. A big deal is not simply telling neighbour that his balls are on show. I'm going for an acrostic poem. Not sure if you know this. All the neighbours can see you, kindly showing us when you piss, and even when you have a poo, and when you diddle your fiddle. I told the woman over the road she was clearly visible in her bathroom. I heard some school kids mention it as they walked up from the bus. They were quite shocked and a bit giggly. So I waited till she came down to her kitchen and knocked on the door to tell her. I didn't want her thinking there was a bloke watching her. She was shocked, quite rude, put up a blind that evening. Ah, this one is quite creative. Terrible frosted glass. We can see your arse. We also see your wanking. For that we are not thanking. Our eyeballs are hurting. Please draw your curtain. Lovely, lovely. We have this with a neighbour to the back of our house. They cut down some trees and now it's all on view. I want to put a note through, but they would know it was us due to the angle of the housing. It could be only us. They are so nice and I can't bring myself to say anything. I just avert my eyes. And someone else says, I have had this for 16 years. Watched him receive a BJ whilst having a family barbecue. Oh no, that's awful. And here's another lovely poem. Your frosted glass shows us your ass. Our kids might laugh to see you in the bath, but it's rather more dodge when you play with your todge. Oh my word. We've had this with our neighbours over the back. Showering was one thing, but there was an awful lot of self-pleasure going on, and my kids were a bit horrified. They shouldn't have to not look out their window, because our neighbour is an avid wanker. It wouldn't hurt for him to put up a blind. I do wonder if he maybe enjoys it. We put a note through his door, but nothing changed, so we changed our Wi-Fi name to Dear Neighbour, Read Sexual Offences Act 2003, Section 12. Blinds went up 4 weeks later. And in answer to someone saying, I would suspect he knows he can be seen and that's why he does it, OP replies, I genuinely don't think the people that live there know that they can be seen showering and whatnot when their light isn't on. A guy that lived there a few years before did it too, but the kids were smaller or not around yet, so it wasn't much of an issue. I'm inclined to agree with the previous poster's theory about the privacy glass in the window installed the wrong way round. Oh, here they come, all of the silly rhymes. There once was an overlooked shower, with a window that lacked a modest power. The neighbours made fun when they saw a plashed bum, but the masturbation made them quite dour. Or, I like the Dr. Seuss type limerick. When the weather outside is chilly, and the people inside feel silly, you turn on the light and the kids to the right can see you rubbing your willy. Oh dear. There was a young man by his window who wanked up a jolly good show. He made love to his willy, but he looked very silly as the neighbours were all in the know. It is a shame, my dear, you have a fine physique, but your bathroom window is too clear and lets all the neighbours peek. My children laugh to see your bum. It's not so funny when you come, so give the curtain a tweak. There once was a neighbour whose glass was frosted but still showed his arse. When he pulled on his dick, it gave us the ick, so we wrote him a haiku. That's class. When you take a shower at night, you always turn on your light, but your glass isn't working and your penis is twerking. It's quite an extraordinary sight. And our OP replies, thank you all so much. Definitely very creative minds here. Neighbour 1 and I have decided on a polite note, mentioning showers can be seen from outside, but specifically not mentioning activities. My husband and neighbour 2 are being less than helpful. They're fully invested in the mariachi band branch of thinking and are penning a sea shanty to play on another neighbour's accordion. I'm going to drop the note in tomorrow and hope I'm not seen. Quick update. I'd written the note this morning and it was sat by the door ready to go. I've made 2 attempts to drop it off. First time, kid spotted naked bum, so I quickly ran downstairs, grabbed the note, headed out with the knowledge that they were unlikely to be heading out of their house if they were in the shower. So little chance of awkward door opening mid-post. In the time it took me to get out of the house, the top part of the bathroom window was opened, facing downwards, so they totally would have noticed movement below and seen me drop it in. Quick diversion to the corner shop and waited there for a few minutes before coming back. Fail. Second time, under the cover of darkness, I left the house and noticed their door gate was open, meaning I could drop it straight into the letterbox rather than the wall post box. The letterbox was stiff, so I went to leave it against the door. Realised that could possibly be missed, so went to the wall post box. I couldn't actually figure out how to post something into it. Nothing would open inwards or outwards that I could feel, and there was no slot. I ran back to the door, forcefully shoved it into the door letterbox, which snapped closed with a bang. I ran around the corner. I needed to collect some lateral flow tests anyway. Walked back on my own side of the road as casually as possible. I know how ridiculous this sounds, but I just cannot bear to actually talk to them about it in person. Anyway, that's done now. Here's hoping the curtain closes going forwards. Well, all of that, and they didn't even bother to use one of the poems. Well, how would you have dealt with that situation? Please let me know, because I'm interested.